Good morning, everybody. Well, good afternoon, actually. My name is Miss Destiny, and we're back again with Kids Wellness Week. Guess what day it is? Day number 4. Thank you all for joining us every single day. We love you guys, and we can't wait to share another story with you guys. So, today's story is called Gabe and His Green Thumb. What do you guys see here? I see Gabe. Well, this is Gabe. I see Gabe. I see a big green thumb, but I also see a huge carrot. Does anybody know what a green thumb is? We're going to find out as we read. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what this story is about. So, here we go. It says, what would it look like if a kid switched thumbs with the Incredible Hulk? Ask Gabe. This fantastical story is about a boy's love for gardening, and it'll spark your curiosity about food and where it comes from. But don't think any of Gabe's friends will be playing the thumb war with him anytime soon because he has a big thumb. All right, we're going to jump into it. All right, Gabe and His Green Thumb by David Miller. Readers are leaders. That is very true. All right. Gabe and Alex have been cool since the first grade. While scoring during a soccer game, Alex ran Gabe over at recess. But he helped Gabe up, and they've been best buddies ever since. Gabe has been gardening with his parents since he was old enough to walk. In his spare time, you can always find him in his backyard, working in his own private garden. How many of you all have a garden in your backyard or at your school? Raise your hand. All right, thank you. He loves it, and I'm sure you love your garden too. When he's not reading comics, Gabe spends most of his time in his garden. Dude, gardening is so lame, Alex said. Just try it once. You'll never be the same, Gabe replied to Alex. Who knows what'll happen if I stick my hand in the dirt? I'll pass, Alex said. One day, a strong storm swept through the area, which meant no soccer for Alex and no gardening for Gabe. The sky opened up. Dark clouds covered every single inch of the sky, and rain poured to the ground like thousands of tiny drumsticks. For 2 days, it rained super duper hard, nonstop. I know you guys know what it's like on certain rainy days. You're stuck in the house trying to figure out things to do, wanting to probably go out and play with your friends or garden like Gabe. A few days later, the dark clouds rolled away, and the sky was clear and blue again. The sun slowly poked through the thin white clouds. Then Gabe put on his boots, his overalls, and played in small puddles left from the storm. He called up Alex and asked him to come over to help out in the garden. What do you guys think Alex is going to say? Come on, man. It won't take too long, begged Gabe. Okay, 20 minutes. Okay. Alex, he wants to garden. It looks like he wants to garden for 20 minutes today. Most of the ground was still wet, so the boys spent time pulling up weeds, adding mulch, and raking the dirt. You guys see them? Gabe saw a huge earthworm peek out beneath the soil. Watch this, he said to Alex as he shoved his hand deep into the soil. Come on out, you slimy little fish bait. Can you feel him? Alex asked. Nope. I think I do. Ouch! Gabe yelled. Feels like I stuck my thumb into a thorn or something. Might have bit me. But worms don't bite, replied Alex. Let's see it. When Gabe pulled his thumb out and looked at it, there wasn't a mark. Okay. Looks fine to me, Alex said. Feels fine too, said Gabe. I'll be okay, but I'm going home later for this garden, buddy. See the earthworm poking out? The next morning, Gabe woke up to the sound of his mother yelling at the top of her lungs from downstairs. Get up, Gabe Mandela Gresham. You don't want to be late for school. Gabe jumped up out of bed and rolled into the bathroom. He was still half asleep. Everybody let out a big yawn. Gabe was so sleepy that he brushed his teeth with his eyes closed. Have you all ever done that before? I haven't. But when he opened them up, he got the shock of his life. My thumb, he hollered. Gabe's parents raced into the bathroom. What's the problem, son? His dad asked. Look at my hand. My thumb is big and green. Uh-oh. Do you guys think it has anything to do with the earthworm? Let's keep reading to find out. What happened to your hand? Gabe's dad asked. Does it hurt, honey? Asked his mom. It doesn't hurt, but it sure is big, Gabe replied. Looks like his thumb is as big as his head. We are going to the doctor's office right now, said his mom. So Gabe, his parents, Alex, and even Pharaoh, his Jack Russell Terrier, all jumped into the car. Now he's at the doctor's office. How are you doing, Gabe? Asked Dr. McMichael. I'm feeling okay, but look at my thumb. Whoa, said Dr. McMichael. How did that happen? I don't know. I was messing around in the garden, said Gabe. Woke up this morning, and now I have this. He stuck out his thumb, and it was the size of a lime. And it was even getting bigger. Everybody stick out your thumb. Is your thumb the size of a lime? Never seen anything like that in my life, said Dr. McMichael. Let's get an x-ray. Does anybody know what an x-ray is? They're gonna look and see what his bones look like to see what is going on. After the x-ray came back negative with nothing broken, Gabe left with his parents. His thumb was still green and now as big as an oversized avocado. Seeing how this is the first time I've seen anything like this and all of your tests came back okay, all I can say is good luck with that. It should be fine sometime soon, I guess, said Dr. McMichael as he shrugged his shoulders. So it says that his test, they looked at his bones, nothing was broken, and it looks like, everything is okay besides his thumb being super big. Even the doctors had never seen anything like it before. Gabe began to run off a bunch of questions to his parents. Can I go to school? What will the other kids say? What will happen to my thumb? Will the green color ever go away? His parents just held both of his hands as they walked out of Dr. McMichael's office in silence. Everybody's trying to figure out what happened to Gabe's thumb. The next day, Gabe dragged himself to school. He was teased and laughed at by all the kids in class for the first couple days. Weeks passed, then months passed, and Gabe's thumb was still big and green. But now it was the size of a small, juicy watermelon. The only person that didn't think Gabe's thumb was weird was his old buddy Alex, because Alex was there. Man, that is some sight, Gabe. I wish I had it, said Alex. I wish I can give it to you, said Gabe. Come on over to the garden. Maybe sticking your hand back in the soil will reverse the swelling, Alex said. Gabe was desperate and he agreed. They were teasing Gabe. Look at the chalkboard. It says, Big Thumb, ha ha. Gabe Green, ha ha. So they were really making fun of him for his green thumb. Nope, looks like he put his thumb back in the soil. Gabe got down on his knees, right between the row of green beans and the row of squash. He dug his hand into the same spot where he was reaching for the worm. All of a sudden, something magical started happening. The vegetables in each row started growing right before their eyes. Would you look at that? You've got a magical green thumb, Gabe Gresham, yelled Alex. At first, Gabe was shocked, but he stuck his hand in a little deeper, which made the entire row of squash grow to their full size. It was amazing. He was now the talk of Philadelphia, the boy with the big magical green thumb. So when he stuck his thumb down in there, all of the vegetables started to grow. So that's what a green thumb is. A green thumb is the idea that you're really, really good with growing things. You're really, really good at growing plants. And Gabe's thumb, his actual thumb, was magical and grew all the plants in Philadelphia. From that moment on, Gabe and Alex loaded up a wheelbarrow with huge vegetables. Bright red tomatoes were 10 to 15 pounds. Monster-sized cabbage were 30 pounds. And onions that were the size of basketballs. Looks like Alex likes to plant now and garden, which is great. Channel 6 News heard about the monster-sized vegetables Gabe was growing and sent a reporter to his house. What kinds of vegetables do you grow? Asked the reporter of Channel 6. Gabe answered, we grow kale, carrots, onions, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and radishes. So Gabe is able to be on the news now because of his green thumb. Oh, let me show it again. And this is him on the news. The kid with the magical green thumb. Breaking news. We heard people in Philly call you the kid with the magical green thumb, the reporter said. Yes, I'm not sure of what happened, but since my thumb turned green, whenever I stick my hand in the dirt, magic happens, Gabe told the reporter. All kinds of super cool things were happening thanks to Gabe's green thumb. 2 days ago, Gabe and his family drove to Allentown, Pennsylvania. There, Gabe presented his vegetables at the Pennsylvania State Fair. How many of you all have been to the DC State Fair? A state fair is where you show off all the fruits and vegetables that you've grown and share a lot of different unique different fruits and vegetables that people have grown from farmers, a lot of farmers. At 5:30 a.m., Gabe and his family loaded up the van and hit the road. Of course, Alex and Pharaoh jumped in the back as well. Pharaoh barked for the first 20 minutes of the trip. On the way, Gabe and Alex wrote down the names of all the license plates that they saw while they were riding down the highway. Mississippi, Michigan, Maryland, West Virginia, Illinois, Texas. Gabe must have counted about 30 states on the drive to Allentown. How many of you all have played this game with your families when you're taking a road trip? It's super fun. Gabe and his family arrived early at the state fair to get set up at the booth. The Gresham's booth featured tomatoes, radishes, onions, and carrots, just like Gabe said. Once they finished setting up their booth, Gabe and his family spent time walking around, looking at the animals and farm equipment. So also at the state fair, they show animals, and people win prizes for how nice their things look. So like they have really healthy looking pigs. They'll get a prize for the pigs. If you have really healthy looking tomatoes, you get a prize for a tomato. The judging would take a while. The judges were looking at the size, weight, and color of all the vegetables. After a few hours, the judges walked on stage and grabbed the mic. The winner for first place with a carrot weighing 16 pounds, Gabe Gresham from Philadelphia, the older man on stage announced. Look at how big that carrot is. 16 pounds? Gabe became the youngest person in the history of Pennsylvania. Gabe became the youngest person in history of the Pennsylvania State Fair to win a blue ribbon for his 16-pound carrot. Gabe's mom was so excited. She almost knocked him down while jumping up and down and saying his name as it was called. See, didn't I tell you that gardening was cool? Gabe and Alex laughed. Gabe walked on stage with his parents and Pharaoh, sporting that smile that could be seen across the state of Pennsylvania. And the judges, they handed Gabe a blue ribbon and a large check for $500. When Gabe returned home the next day, he was running late for school as usual. When he got to his classroom 10 minutes late, he peeked his head at the door and saw his teacher, Miss Gilbert, holding up the newspaper so the class could see a big photo of him, his parents, Alex, and Pharaoh at the state fair. Then Miss Gilbert turned the page to show the class another photo of Gabe and his parents, holding his prize blue ribbon for the first place. Your classmate Gabe Gresham won a big at the Pennsylvania County Fair with a carrot that he grew in his backyard. Here, let me show you all again. How he's on the front page of his newspaper, and then inside the newspaper as well. Gabe finally stepped into the room with his big green thumb behind his back. He expected to be in trouble for being late again to class, and for his classmates to laugh at him and his freakishly green thumb, just as they had for weeks in the past. But this time they all stood up on their feet and they cheered. Gabe, 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 Gabe. And just like that, Gabe became one of the coolest kids in school. Now the board says, instead of saying, ha ha, Gabe and his green thumb, it says, Gabe is cool. Gabe. So now people are happy to see him and excited. Nowadays, Gabe's thumb is still big and green. Drive by the Gresham house any afternoon after school, and you will find plenty of neighborhood kids in the garden with Gabe, Alex, and of course, Pharaoh. The end. Now, in the back of the book, it gives a list of different things that you can grow in a vegetable garden. I'm going to read it off to you guys. So, we have, these are Gabe's top suggestions, actually, from Gabe himself. Beets, carrots, cucumber, eggplant, green beans, onions, peppers, potatoes, radishes, shallots, spinach, squash, tomatoes, cabbage, and Swiss chard. I'll show you guys the list. All right, the end. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this story. A few different things that I took away from the story is that, just like we've been talking about all week, it's important to love yourself and important to realize that the things that make you unique are the things that make you you. And you should always want to be the best that you can be at the things that you're good at. So Gabe, he was really, really good at gardening. And even though his friends, may not have thought that gardening was cool, or his classmates may not have thought that gardening was cool, he had a special gift inside of him. And because he had a special gift, it really took him far. He was in the newspaper. He was able to go to the state fair and win an award just for his gift and the special things that were inside of him. So that's the first thing, that you're unique, and never let anybody make you feel bad for the things that make you unique. So that's the first. The second thing is that it's so cool to garden and farm. So how many of you all knew that the vegetables that you see at the grocery store were grown in somebody's garden? Raise your hand. Don't be shy. Well, it does. You can have a garden at your home. There's a lot of farmers that grow food. There are all There are all farmers that grow food, vegetables. So, when you see it in the grocery store, it was first at a farmer's house or a farmer's farm. So one thing that you can do is you can ask your adult how you guys can start to grow some things in your backyards and your gardens. And I really encourage it because it'll be really cool to watch, just like Gabe, watch everything that you planted in the ground, starting as seeds, grow into beautiful vegetables or even flowers. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this story. And I wanted to let you guys know, again, that you're special, you're unique, and you should love being you. So next we have, in about 1 hour, we're going to have some more activities with the Family Art Museum. So do you guys remember last week? I'm sorry, not last week. You remember on Tuesday, we had Miss Ashira and Miss Milani help us out with some yoga and some arts activities. They're going to be back again today. So we want you guys to get in some comfy clothes so you guys can move around and do some more yoga with Miss Ashira. And then we also want you guys to get some art supplies. So today, what we want you guys to get is a toilet paper roll without the toilet paper on it. Want you to get some markers, paint, a lot of different colors if you have it, and then meet us back in 1 hour at 1:15. Thank you guys. See you soon.